guys. So today in this video I'm going to be speaking about how to use the power of the subconscious mind. So there's a whole plethora of information out there. There's books, courses, all the manner of self-development systems that will, teach you how to use the sacred sciences, law of attraction, the power of the mind, healing, self-development, and transformation, to your advantage. Now, when it comes to these sciences and when it comes to this information, you know, you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed. You know, it's a lot out there. Uh, or you just may want someone to help you make sense of it all, and you know, you need someone who's going to take you through the in-depth information into a step-by-step process that you can use to help you manifest your goals or actualize that which you want to accomplish, that which you want to achieve. That's where I come in. Tim D. Kelley, TDK. I don't just give you a bunch of facts. I show you how to apply these facts, and I show you how to apply this information so that it'll work for you. That way I can give you exactly what you need when it comes to the tools, that you can use to change your life. So, with that said, if you ever felt like, life is spinning out of control, or the concept of manifestation, the law of attraction, self-development, the subconscious mind, and you feel that, it may offer you some advice, some tools that'll help you, with a few changes in your mindset, you can manifest your own success and, contentment, as well as unlocking the potential powers of the subconscious mind that lies within yourself. Let's see, where could we start? Manifestation. So, at its core, manifestation is about believing in yourself and in the world around you, and you'll be rewarded with positive results. If you visualize the outcome you like to see in the type of person you want to become, then you create an action plan to get there, then you'll get there. That is the definition of success. But on a deeper level, the subconscious mind can play an important or an essential role in our daily lives and as far as our manifestation skills. So our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings shape who we are. They shape how we see ourselves, and they shape the world around us and our place within the world. So the subconscious, through the subconsciously, we manifest that which we want, that which we don't want, whether we realize it or not. So we all have the power to manifest, right? Whether it be in health, wealth, or even happiness, and just living life in general. So by harnessing the power of the subconscious mind, we could use the creative thoughts to become more of a driving force in our manifesting goals, right? In our goals to achieve, and our goals to become better. And it'll allow ourselves to become vulnerable and accept that, you have the power to make positive changes that, will have a huge impact into your life. So manifestation in the subconscious mind can be incredibly powerful tools, to use in creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. All you have to do is believe in yourself, have faith in the power of your dreams, and keep a positive mindset, man. You have to take control of your own destiny, and you'll be able to change your life in the most extraordinary ways. So the subconscious mind is the storehouse of everything, of all your memories, all your experiences, the experiences you'll have in the future. The subconscious mind controls everything in our lives. It can be difficult to understand how it actually works or even see it at work in our daily lives. But if you feel like something is holding you back from being the best version of yourself, and you want to get there, you have to change how the subconscious mind thinks about who you are. Not how you think about who you are right now. Oh, you want to be healthy, happy, at peace. You want $1 million. No, it's about what the subconscious mind does, because the subconscious mind controls everything, right? So the first step to making the most of your subconscious mind is understanding how it gets information. So what happens is the brain picks up signals from the sense organs, touch, taste, feel, smell, and sight, and we see a picture or we feel a thing. We feel ourselves and we become aware of it. And we become aware of ourselves experiencing it. And so this awareness is information, and this information is passed from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind, and through the subconscious mind brings up images or representations and feelings. And from those feelings and those images, the information that is stored into the subconscious mind then produces electrochemical signals within the body and within the brain, and allows us to act and react within our environment. So it either allows us to move or stay still, or express behavior itself. So on the other hand, when we put programs into the subconscious mind, they express themselves in the physical realm by directing and influencing our actions and behavior, which ultimately dictates our environment. So every time you think a thought, it influences how you feel, and how you feel influences how you behave and what you do in the world. So every time you think a thought, it has some type of influence on the world around you and how you behave within the world, and that's how you change the world. That's how you change your personal world. So if you're constantly thinking that you can't or that you don't have, then the subconscious mind has no choice but to reflect on that and give that to you in your personal world, in your personal environment, because that's what you believe. That's what the subconscious mind believes. And this belief is a term that is used for the idea of repetition of thoughts. Repetition of thoughts and feelings create beliefs. So if you constantly think of things that you want and things that you already have, you'll become grateful, and you start to receive and have more of that which you want to have, and that more of that which you want to have already, and have and achieve that which you don't have yet, right? So the subconscious mind will reflect this in yourself and then in the environment. Your subconscious mind works through repetition of patterns, either linguistics or behavioral. So it acts without you thinking about it in order to act. It just does it. So it makes you do everything that you already do. So the subconscious mind is the storehouse within you. It allows you to create the experience that you want to have. So if the subconscious mind is the part of you that makes you do and have and be without thinking about it, then in order to change your life, you have to change this unconscious process. Now, if you don't change this unconscious process, then you will go through life wondering why things are the way they are, and still going the way they are without changing the programs within the mind. So if you want to change your life, you have to change the subconscious behaviors, because the subconscious behaviors are what controls your experience, and they control your life. So now that you know how the subconscious mind works and how it gets information, what are some ways that you can take advantage of it? So the subconscious mind really doesn't understand logic. It's an emotional processor. It uses feelings, memories, images, to make decisions, to act and react. That's all it does. So if you want to change your life, you got to speak its language, right? We have to tap into its language in order to give it a program, right? So the way this works is through repetition, telling yourself over and over again that you're good enough until it becomes a belief. That's an example, right? And then you start acting like you're good enough because you believe you are good enough, unconsciously, right? But in order to get that within yourself, you have to go through the process. So we all know the subconscious mind controls everything in our lives. It's the part of the brain that makes us do the things that we don't really want to do and the things that we do want to do. It also controls, what we do, whether we overeat or we procrastinate. It also controls whether we achieve success. So if you want to control your life, you have to impact your subconscious mind. And in order for us to impact our subconscious minds, we need to know how it gets that information into the mind. So the subconscious mind learns from repetition. That's number one. After repetition, images, feelings, symbols, or symbolism, right? So the three main ones are repetition, images, and feelings. And lastly, symbols, right? So the brain picks up signals from our sense organs, our sight, touch, hearing, etc. And we see a picture, or we hear a sound, or we feel something based on a mental association, or through memory and past experience, which is in the nervous system. And then we become aware of it. So the information is passed into the subconscious mind through images and feelings, which are then stored in the subconscious mind as behavior and experience. And I think that's one of the main things that we need to understand. So how do we use this knowledge that we have here? Well, first of all, you need to decide on what you want to manifest or attract into your life. You must decide on that which you want to accomplish and achieve. What do you want? You have to figure it out. Do you want more money, better job, healthy relationship, whatever it is? Make sure you're very clear about it before moving forward with any of these steps. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of times many people don't manifest because the first thing is they're not clear on that which they want. So you could do this either two ways, by doing visualization exercise or by speaking auto suggestions or affirmations to yourself, things that you say to yourself, self-talk. And both of these tools are very powerful for changing your mindset and creating powerful habits within the subconscious mind, which then creates positive experiences outside of you. So the visualization exercise takes practice, but once they become second nature, you'll be able to use them and they'll become a part of your daily routine and help you keep your goals at the top of your mind throughout the day. Because we know that what you think constantly on, you become. So auto-suggestion, for example, is the next one, and it's easier because all you have to do is repeat a few phrases, like, for example, I'm good enough, at set intervals throughout the day, in order to get this ingrained into the subconscious part of the brain and the subconscious part of the mind and into the brain, and ultimately expressed into your life. So here's my step-by-step process of how to visualize something. So first, what you need to do, like I said, is figure out that which you want to manifest. Get clear on that which you want to put in your own mind, right? Next, focus on your hand, right? Turn it over. Next, close your eyes. See it in your mind's eye, right? See it in your mind's eye. Now turn it over in your mind's eye, right? Next, after you figured out what you want, close your eyes. Use your mind's eye and your senses to bring up those images and those feelings. Now with your eyes still closed, bring up the image, right? And now I want you to bring up an image of the best time in your life. What does that feel like? Right? Now, what we're trying to do is the same thing with our manifestations and subconscious practices. Try this visualization practice to help you. Get clear on what you want to happen to you, or what you want to have, right? Or what you want to experience. Write it out and to describe it in detail as if you have it right now. Describe all the feelings and all the thoughts that you'll have while having it, and write out, what you'll do as you are the person with that which you want to have. So once you write all of this out, practice the visualization of it and bring up the feelings of already having it, and boom, it's that easy, man. So literally all you got to do is think about it, feel it, and keep doing that in a repetitious pattern constantly throughout the day. That's how you reprogram the subconscious mind. That's how you get over any limitations. So if you still seem to be having any problems using images or visualizing images, try getting images from Google or Pinterest. Just look at a picture or image, close your eyes, and try to see the image in your mind's eye. And then try to imagine yourself with it or having it in your perspective. And that's it. Feel it. Feel it as if you already have it. And the more you do this, the more you start to override those old programming, you start to override the old programming within the subconscious. So really the question is, what does it feel like to have it already? So once you get into this feeling of already having it, you can then create auto-suggestions from that. So auto-suggestions are phrases that you literally tell yourself that can help you perform better or influence your other thoughts and emotions throughout the day. So with repetition, you can change old subconscious programs into new useful ones, that's conducive to your manifestation. So next thing we'll get into right now is auto-suggestions. So write out a phrase that is conducive to your new program in the current moment as if it's happening now. So for example, I am blank. I now have multiple sources of income. That's one of the easiest ones. If you want to get more money, you say I now have multiple sources of income. Now, if you want to improve that, add a feeling in there. I'm so happy and grateful that I now have multiple sources of income. If you're familiar with Bob Proctor, that's what he specifies on. So write out those phrases and include your emotional cues. So for example, I am so happy and grateful now that I have blank. Or it feels good having blank now. Or I love feeling blank. So now once you've got everything written down and you're ready to go to the next step, what you need to do is repeat the phrases over and over and over and over and over again, like you're listening to a song and you're trying to get it stuck in your head. And that's what we're trying to do. What you want to do is play it over and over and over again until they play in your mind like music without even thinking. The whole process involves imaging or imagining and feeling, speaking, and doing. That is the whole process of manifestation right here. So remember, what we're ultimately trying to do is impact the subconscious mind with the right information. And that's going to, bring us the desired results through, self-conditioned thoughts, habits, and self-conditioned behaviors. Now, if you want to take this and do the act as if, you can throw that in there as well. So basically, this is how we use the power of the subconscious mind to change ourselves and ultimately manifest the lives that we desire. The key here is the focus, 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 repetition, repetition, repetition. The brain and body does not know the difference between what's being imagined, what's being visualized, what's being affirmed versus what's actually real, what's actually happening because of the senses, right? The senses only give you only a percentage of what you're able to actually experience, that because your brain can't hold all that information. So it only gives you a portion of what you experience and what you believe to be real as real. So the power of imagination is something that we often don't talk about, yet the potential is extraordinary, right? What you imagine in your mind can create powerful changes in your life, and if you allow it to, right? So how do we do this? Our brain and body can't distinguish between what's real and imagined. So think about it. When you daydream, your mind processes your imaginary thoughts as if they were actually real, right? And we become immersed in the moment. Your feelings, your sights, your sounds, all of that stuff takes us away to a different realm, making our minds and body believe that we are actually in this new environment, and our senses can actually influence our imagination in such a powerful way that we almost don't even realize what we're doing in that particular moment. So the power of manifestation and the power of reprogramming your subconscious mind goes into this, because our perception of reality, although based on experiences, is only a small glimpse of what is really going on around us. All of our senses then provide information for us that we can use to believe certain things to be true, when in fact they either may be true or they might not be true. So what if we could see this same concept to what if we could use the same concept to our advantage? What if we allowed our imaginations to drive us to live the life that we truly desired? That is the question, right? When it comes down to it, our brain and our body have a special ability to take us places beyond our wildest dreams, literally. And it takes tapping into that creative force within us and making the effort to focus our thoughts and imagine all those possibilities. So, to recap, let's go back to the basics and, remember. So, the first fact here is that the brain and body does not know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. So, what you want to do is open yourself up to the possibility and of everything, the possibility that your goals can manifest, right? And use the power of imagination to create the reality that you are passionate about, because life is too short to just let opportunities just pass us by without even trying, right? So when you do visualization, affirmations over and over again with the intense feelings of what it would feel like to already have it, your your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind is picking up that information and is storing it into the body, all while overriding the old emotions, the old memory, all of the past experience, and allowing the brain and body to accept a new condition. And over time, um, the process of repetitive action in the mind and body accepts the new program, and it directs the beliefs to look for confirmations, right, of that new perception of self and reality. So it isn't until you accept a new condition of self, right, in the mind and in the body, that you can accept a new condition and belief for a new reality that which you want to experience. So this is the whole process of manifestation. If you do not change these old programmings, what will happen is, the moment that you get put into this new situation, your old conscious mind and the programs that are within it will begin to start operating unconsciously, and you will begin to believe the same old things you believed before, and in turn do the same old things or manifest those same old things, and you begin to then manifest the same experiences that you have in the past. So if you want to manifest something new, right? If you want to manifest something for the better of your life, you have to change the old perception and beliefs about yourself and about yourself around that which you want to have, or being about that which, this change, right? This internal change is an internal change of identity and self perception, the perception of self and the perception of the world. And your brain and body then, seeks to make all of this a reality. So the brain and body, like what's said before, cannot tell the difference between what's imagined and what's actually happening in the real world. So now we're going to get into this aspect of the brain and body and not being able to tell the difference, right? So why is this, right? Why can't the brain and body tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined? Well, that's because your senses don't always provide you with the whole picture. Your perception of the world can then often be too limited, right, based on the old programs, and may lead you to form conclusions that may not be entirely accurate. For instance, if you are out for a walk in the park and you may think you've seen everything there is to see, however, you may have overlooked something significant. Maybe a family of birds have nested in a nearby tree, or an unexpected rabbit hopped out, through the grass, or it could be something small, or it could be something much bigger and more profound. But it may have never occurred to you if you weren't paying attention to all of your senses. So this is the same thing. Your brain can't take in all the information of what's happening around you. So that is why it's important to take the time to pay attention to the small details and take notice of everything in your surroundings. Taking notice of our surroundings can help us get a fuller understanding of what it is that's going on, not only around us, but also inside of us, and to better make informed decisions, to provide us a better future. So, plus, who knows, we might find something that can make our lives that much better, and this is the same thing going into the mind. So, when it comes to making positive changes in our lives, the first step often is the most difficult. And the first step is acknowledging our current situation. They always say, oh, ignore the current situation. But first, you must acknowledge your current situation and embrace the idea that change is necessary. Because many of us may stay stuck in patterns of unhealthy thought or behavior simply because we're too afraid to take the first step. We worry about what might happen if we open our minds and our hearts to a new, better reality. Shit's changed. A lot of people are afraid of change, and that is one of the biggest problems when it comes to manifestation. But, that doesn't have to be the case. So by developing a new condition of self, we can gain the strength to start on a new path of creating our desired future, right? This doesn't mean forgetting our past. It just means coming to terms with our current circumstances that are based on the past and actively choosing to improve them, right? And this requires a conscious thought and honest self-examination. But when you do this, the rewards are definitely worth it because it allows you to manifest. It allows you to go from one position to the next, right? You can't go from one position to the next if you're still stuck dwelling on what happened in the past. And that's 95% of the people on the planet. So by opening our minds and our hearts to new conditions, we are actually creating the space for new possibilities. Through this process of self-discovery, self-acceptance, we give ourselves the confidence to act in our new beliefs instead of fearing change, fearing that we can't do something. Instead, we can open our hearts and our minds to a life-enriching new reality. And that's what I mean. A lot of people can't manifest because they can't open their heart and they can't open their mind. So the next time you want to make positive changes in your life, it doesn't have to be this big manifestation thing. It could be little things. Remember that you must first accept your current condition and start with yourself. Taking the first step towards a better future begins with changing the conditions within your own mind and within your own body, and allowing yourself to acknowledge what needs to change and to start developing a new sense of self-acceptance and strength. And you can do this and create a better and brighter reality for yourself. It's all possible. All successful people do this. We've all been in situations before that are repetitive and seemingly never-ending, feeling like we're caught up in an inescapable loop. Often this loop is driven by unconscious patterns and programming that we have learned and internalized long ago. A lot of times, 0 to 7 years, that's how it's programmed into the mind. For example, if you've grown up in an environment of limited financial abundance, your subconscious mind will carry this programming forward until you become conscious of it and make efforts to change it or to create change, right? Without changing the old program, the moment you're put into a similar situation again, or if you get $1 million, right off the bat, right, your situation will then be similar to that which you had in the past. And you would begin to manifest the same thoughts, the same actions, and the same things from the past, even if the conscious mind tells you otherwise, right? And that's what happens when you're manifesting. So by shifting and creating and recreating these old limited programs, we have the power to transform our lives and achieve the success on our own terms, right? Because we're deciding I want to change, right? That's the first decision, accepting, all right? So change is often a long and winding road, but it is an empowering process, to take responsibility for your own life. So by consciously shifting our mental programs, right, we become liberated from all the limits of the past, right? We become capable of new, fulfilling experiences. We are no longer bound by our unconscious beliefs, and instead we open up ourselves, to the abundance and the joy that we deserve to live on this planet. All right. So now it's time for you to get started and begin with writing a new script for yourself. Right. The only limits that you face are the ones that you create in your own mind, and it's up to you to rewrite your story and break the loop of negative patterns that would, keep you from being and doing what you want. So what would your life look like if you had all the confidence, all the financial abundance, and all the personal freedom that you desire? The possibilities here are truly endless, especially when you imagine that which you want. So as technology evolves and advances, and as we continue to evolve and advance within our own personal lives, we're often forced to adapt, right, in order to keep up. We learn new systems and procedures to ensure that our lives and our businesses, our families stay in line with the rest of the world, everything, that we're good, right? But when it comes to personal programming, right? How do we ensure that we're staying up to date? All right, changing the old programs. We often fall victim to our old programming or the subconscious beliefs that can control our lives and lead us to continue repeating the same old patterns. Now, beliefs are not only just the subconscious mind, it's more than just beliefs. So to break free from these mental shackles, we need to constantly be reevaluating and renewing our programs. If you're not renewing the program, then you're just going to act out the same thing that was there, right? So it's easy to become so focused on everyday life that our old subconscious programming, starts to slip away and starts to act, right? And if we allow this to happen, it could be detrimental to our long-term growth. So these ancient programming techniques, right, may begin to take over our behavior when we start to reprogram our consciousness and our thoughts, and it starts to take over our reactions, and then our life changes for the better. So rather than allowing our old programs to define us, it's time to begin refreshing our subconscious. It could be a difficult process, but once we can identify, the ways that we have been programmed and put conscious effort into change, the power will shape our own life. And, this power will return to us. We will gain more control over our lives. We need to identify the thoughts that aren't beneficial to us, the emotions that are not beneficial to us, and figure out ways to redirect this programming into gratitude and then into growth, right? So our lives can be transformed when we upgrade our mental software, so to speak. So take the time to take stock of what's in your current program and change what's no longer serving you or keeping you stuck, and update yourself, upgrade yourself, evolve. So, if you're ready to manifest your dreams, your desires into the life, right? First thing you need to do is change your perceptions and beliefs around that which you want to have and you having them. Doing this will ultimately lead to a shift in your internal identity and the way you view yourself. The way you view yourself, right? And this shift, shifts and signals to your brain that you're ready to start changing. You're ready to seek the dream and the desired life, the desired reality that you want to live. And it isn't until you do that that the brain doesn't know you want to do that. So this shift in mindset can be quite daunting, and it's important to be, patient with it, be consistent, believe that anything is possible, right? That your thoughts create your reality, and then when you start to believe in yourself and the power in your power to manifest, that it can be easier, to stay committed to actually reaching your goals. That's the process of manifestation, is the results. That's what you're doing it for, is the results. So take your time, be sure to, start by creating small goals, if it's small, and working towards them one by one. This way you won't be overwhelmed, and your confidence will increase, you know, as you reach milestones, and as you keep track of the progress. This can help you ensure that you stay on track and remain focused on your final vision. Remain focused on that which you want to achieve, right? That's the whole process. So this transformation will also allow you to attract people, resources, and things that can help you achieve your desired outcomes as well. So believe that anything is possible. It takes one step at a time, and always remain committed, right? Commitment to your goals, and being focused on your journey throughout reaching your goals, right? So with these 3 tips right here that I'm about to share with you, you'll be well on your way to creating a life that you've been dreaming of. So the power of manifestation lies in your ability to change the old perceptions and beliefs that we hold about ourselves, whether it's a goal, a new career, a lifestyle change, or anything else. If you want to manifest something into this world, if you want to attract a new life, right, we need to first alter the way we think about ourselves and the world around us. This internal shift is often referred to what is known as internal identity transformation, or identity shifting, all of these things. And it can actually be very powerful once you learn this. Because once we become the type of person that we want to be, the universe responds by mirroring this identity to the external world, right? Our brain and body are like antenna, absorbing and acting on these messages in the environment to make our dreams reality. And this happens through the subconscious mind. Hence, this whole video is about the subconscious mind, the power of the subconscious mind. So when you're trying to manifest something, it's essential that you align yourself with the change you wish to bring about. And, start to act, start to think, and talk in the way that reflects this new version of yourself, and allow yourself to feel the positive energy, to feel the energy in general that will accompany the process. And from here, your mind and your body will start working in tandem to manifest the life that you dream of, right? Because that's the power of the subconscious mind, is to make things happen for you, to make you do things that you never thought you could do. So what are you manifesting in your life? With some dedicated focus and effort, you'll soon see how true this transformation lies within your own hands. All you have to do is believe it, and trust me, you will see it. I know it by experience.